if you enjoy our work. Your support means a lot to us. Here's the continuation of the story. The Thunder Within, Part 4. Killer B stood tall, his chakra swirling around him like a raging storm. Kurotsuchi, the new Tsuchikage, stepped forward, her eyes narrowing in determination. Behind her, the remnants of the Stone Ninja Squad regrouped, though visibly shaken from B's earlier assault. The battlefield was tense, silent except for the crackle of lightning and the distant rumble of rock slides caused by the earlier destruction. Yo, Kurotsuchi's on the stage, B rapped, his grin widening. But I'm about to turn the page. You ready to feel the Eight Tails' rage? Kurotsuchi remained calm, unfazed by B's taunting. You've caused enough chaos here, Killer B, she said, her voice steely. I'm not my grandfather. I won't let you continue unchecked. If you don't surrender, I'll bring you down myself. B chuckled, shaking his head. Ain't no way you taking me down, lady. I'm flying higher than the clouds. Can't nobody cage me. Kurotsuchi's eyes gleamed with a mixture of resolve and something more, respect. I know you're strong, Killer B, but strength isn't enough. We'll see if you're as skilled as your reputation claims. Without another word, she launched herself into the air, her hands already forming seals at lightning speed. Lava release, quicklime congealing jutsu. A massive wave of molten lime spewed from her mouth, surging toward Killer B with terrifying speed. The liquid spread across the ground, hardening into an impenetrable shell as it cooled. B quickly jumped back, narrowly avoiding being trapped in the sticky substance. Juki's voice rumbled in B's mind. Lava release? She's a Kekkei Genkai user like her grandfather. We'll need to be careful. Her techniques are tricky. B nodded, his grin fading into a more focused expression. He knew better than to underestimate a Kage, especially one who commanded both strength and clever tactics. Yo, Juki, time to put on a show. Let's light this battlefield aglow. With a burst of chakra, B charged forward, zigzagging between the pools of quicklime that Kurotsuchi had spread across the ground. He moved with incredible speed, closing the distance between them in an instant. Lightning style, double lariat! B's arm crackled with lightning as he swung toward Kurotsuchi, aiming to strike her down with a powerful blow. But Kurotsuchi was quick. At the last second, she leaped backward, her body twisting midair as she countered with another lava release technique. Lava release. Rubber wall. A thick wall of rubber-like material sprang up between them, absorbing the impact of B's attack. The rubber bounced his lightning-coated arm back, causing the electricity to disperse harmlessly into the air. B skidded to a halt, his eyes widening in surprise. Yo, that's slick. Gotta give you that. But I ain't done yet. I'll hit you where you're flat! Kurotsuchi smirked, clearly in her element. You're not the only one with tricks up your sleeve, B. Without wasting a moment, she launched another attack. This time, she coated the rubber wall in quicklime, hardening it into a deadly spear and sending it flying toward B. Move! Juki shouted in his mind. B twisted to the side, narrowly dodging the spear as it buried itself into the ground where he had been standing. The force of the attack sent shockwaves through the battlefield, shaking the earth beneath his feet. She's got range and control, Juki observed. We'll need to push her into close combat. Yeah, I hear ya, bro, B muttered, his eyes locking onto Kurotsuchi. Time to get up close and personal. With a roar, B channeled more of Gyuki's chakra, his body glowing with crimson energy as he activated his full-tailed beast cloak. The 8 tails of Gyuki sprouted from his back, writhing like giant serpents as he charged at Kurotsuchi with renewed ferocity. Kurotsuchi's eyes widened as B's speed increased dramatically. She formed more seals, preparing another defense, but this time B was too fast. He closed the distance in the blink of an eye, his chakra tails whipping toward her with devastating force. Lariat! The attack struck Kurotsuchi's defenses head-on, shattering the hardened quicklime barrier she had formed. The force of the blow sent her flying backward, but she managed to twist in midair, landing on her feet several meters away. She wiped a trickle of blood from her lip, her eyes narrowing in frustration. You're good, she admitted, her breath coming in short gasps. But I'm not done yet. Kurotsuchi slammed her hands into the ground, causing the earth to rumble beneath them. Earth-style. Rock avalanche. The mountainside above them began to crumble as massive boulders cascaded down toward B, creating a deadly avalanche of stone. B's eyes widened as he realized the sheer scale of the attack. This wasn't just a jutsu. Kurotsuchi was using the natural landscape to her advantage, turning the very terrain against him. Yo, Juki, we gotta move fast, or we're gonna get smashed. Leave it to me, Juki growled. In an instant, B's form shifted as he transformed fully into the Eight Tails. The massive ox-octopus form of Juki towered over the battlefield, his tentacles whipping out to intercept the falling boulders. With a powerful sweep of his tails, Juki smashed the rocks into dust, protecting B from the avalanche. Kurotsuchi stared in awe as Juki's massive form loomed over her. But she didn't back down. Her hands moved in a blur, forming more seals as she prepared her next attack. She couldn't afford to let up, not against an opponent like Killer B. Lava release, melting hand. Her hands glowed with molten lava as she charged forward, aiming to strike Juki directly. But Juki wasn't about to let her get close. With a roar, he unleashed a powerful blast of chakra, sending Kurotsuchi flying backward once again. "You're tough, lady," B called from within Juki's consciousness. "But you ain't no match for the Eight Tails." Kurotsuchi gritted her teeth, struggling to her feet once more. Her body was battered, and her chakra reserves were running low. But she wasn't ready to give up just yet. She was the Tsuchikage, and she would not let Killer B walk away unchallenged. But before she could launch another attack, a sudden voice cut through the battlefield. "That's enough!" Both B and Kurotsuchi turned to see a new figure approaching from the distance. The figure wore the robes of the Raikage, his immense presence unmistakable. It was A, the fourth Raikage, Killer B's brother. "A!" B shouted in surprise. "Yo, bro, what's the show?" A's face was stern, his eyes locking on to both Kurotsuchi and Killer B. "We've completed the mission, B. No need to keep fighting. Let's go." Kurotsuchi straightened, wiping blood from her mouth as she eyed the Raikage warily. She knew she couldn't take both Killer B and the Raikage on at once. But the fact that they were retreating without finishing the battle left her feeling conflicted. "This isn't over," she said, her voice low but filled with determination. "Next time, Killer B, I won't hold back." Killer B grinned. Yo, bring it on, lady. I'll be ready. I'll keep it steady." Without another word, Killer B and the Raikage turned and began their retreat, leaving Kurotsuchi standing alone on the battlefield, her mind racing with thoughts of the fight that had just unfolded. To be continued. Killer B's fight with Kurotsuchi ends in a stalemate as the Raikage intervenes. What's next for B and his brother? The Thunder Within, Part 5. Killer B and A, the fourth Raikage, sprinted across the rugged terrain, moving with incredible speed toward the borders of Kumogakure. The mission had been successful. The intel they'd gathered would give their village a strategic advantage in the ongoing political tensions with Iwagakure. But as they ran, Killer B's mind was still focused on the fight with Kurotsuchi. "Yo, bro, why'd you cut it short? I was about to wrap it up. She was too slow for the sport." B rapped, glancing at his brother with a playful grin. "Could have handled her with no fuss, but you rolled in like a bus." A didn't smile. His expression remained serious, his eyes locked straight ahead. "B, you've got to understand," he said, his deep voice booming even as they ran. "That fight was unnecessary. We're not trying to provoke a war with Iwagakure. The intel was the mission. Getting into a fight with their Tsuchikage could have escalated things beyond control." B's grin faded slightly. He knew his brother was right, but the thrill of the fight still pulsed in his veins. He'd always enjoyed testing his strength against powerful opponents, and Kurotsuchi had proven to be a worthy challenge. "Yeah, I get it," B muttered, his tone less playful now. "But she's tough, bro. Would've liked to see how far I could go." A finally glanced at his younger brother, his stern gaze softening just a bit. "I know you, B. You always want to push your limits. But this was bigger than you. Iwagakure's already on edge after Onoki's defeat. They're looking for any reason to retaliate, and I won't let you be the spark that lights the fire." B nodded, understanding the weight of the situation. The world was still fragile after the Fourth Great Ninja War, and even a small skirmish between powerful nations like Kumogakure and Iwagakure could reignite old conflicts. They continued running in silence for a while, the mountain ranges and valleys of the Land of Lightning blurring past them. Eventually, they reached the outskirts of Kumogakure's territory, where the village scouts awaited their return. "Raikage-sama, Killer B." One of the scouts saluted as they approached. "We received word that the mission was a success. The intel is being delivered to the village as we speak." I nodded. "Good. Make sure it's analyzed immediately. We need to know what Iwagakure is planning." As the scout ran off, B leaned against a boulder, catching his breath. "Yo, bro, I'm feeling kinda low. Fight got cut short, and now I got nowhere to go." I turned to face his brother, his eyes narrowing. "You'll have plenty of time to train, B, but right now we need to stay focused. There's something bigger happening here." B raised an eyebrow, curious. "Bigger than taking down the Tsuchikage? What's going on, bro? Don't leave me hanging, yo." I crossed his arms, his expression darkening. "It's not just Iwagakure. We've been getting reports from all over the continent. Unrest, rogue shinobi bands forming, strange disappearances. Something's stirring, and I don't like it." Killer B frowned. He had been so focused on the mission that he hadn't paid attention to the bigger picture. "You think it's connected? All the chaos and these skirmishes?" I nodded. "I do. The peace we fought for after the war, it's fragile. Too many factions still hold grudges, too many wounds haven't healed, and there's something else, something we can't see yet." B fell silent, feeling the weight of his brother's words. He trusted A more than anyone, and if the Raikage was worried, then there was definitely something to be concerned about. "He's right," Juki's voice rumbled in B's mind. "The world is unstable, and with figures like Onoki and the Akatsuki gone, there's a power vacuum. Someone or something will try to fill it." B straightened up, his playful demeanor replaced with a more serious look. "All right, bro, what's the next move?" A glance toward the village, the towering peaks of Kumogakure visible in the distance. "We wait. We'll monitor Iwagakure and the other villages, and we'll prepare for whatever comes next. But stay ready, B. I have a feeling this is just the beginning." Later that night, Killer B sat alone on the cliffs overlooking Kumogakure. The moon hung low in the sky, casting a soft glow over the village below. B rested his elbows on his knees, his thoughts wandering back to the fight with Kurotsuchi and the ominous words from his brother. "You're restless," Juki observed, his deep voice rumbling through B's mind. B sighed. "Yeah, bro, something don't sit right. You feel it too, right?" "Like we're just waiting for the next big fight." "There's always another battle," Juki replied. "But A is right to be cautious. We can't rush into this blindly. The world is changing, and we need to be smart." B nodded slowly. He knew Juki was right, but that didn't make the waiting any easier. He thrived on action, on being in the thick of things, and the idea of sitting back while the world slowly unraveled didn't sit well with him. Suddenly, a flicker of movement caught B's eye. A shadow darted across the cliffside, too quick to be a normal villager. B straightened, his senses immediately on high alert. "Yo, Gyuki, we got company," B muttered, his eyes narrowing as he scanned the area. "I see it," Juki replied, his tone sharp. "Be careful, it's moving fast." B rose to his feet, his muscles tensing as he prepared for whatever, or whoever was out there. He stepped away from the cliff's edge, his eyes tracking the movement in the shadows. The figure darted closer, its movements silent and deliberate. Without warning, the figure leaped into the open, landing a few meters away from B. It was cloaked in black, its face hidden by a mask, but B could sense the chakra radiating from it, strong and dangerous. Yo, you sneaking around my block?" B said, his hands already inching toward his blades. "Better speak up quick before I knock you out with a shock." The masked figure stood still for a moment, its head tilting slightly as if studying B. Then, in a low, gravelly voice it spoke. "You're Killer B, the Eight-Tails Jinchuriki." B's eyes narrowed. "Yeah, that's me. What's it, Tia? You looking to cause a scene, or just here to be mean?" The figure didn't answer immediately. Instead, it reached into its cloak, pulling out a small, intricately carved scroll. "This is for you," it said, tossing the scroll at B's feet. "You'll want to read it. Things are changing, and soon, not even Kumogakure will be safe." B's heart raced as he bent down to pick up the scroll, but when he looked up again, the figure had vanished into the night. His eyes scanned the area, but there was no trace of the intruder. "Be careful, B," Juki warned. "That wasn't just any shinobi. There's something strange about this." B frowned as he unrolled the scroll. The message inside was short, written in an unfamiliar script. But the meaning was clear. The storm is coming. Choose your side before it's too late. B clenched his fists, the weight of the message sinking in. Whoever that masked figure was, they weren't bluffing. The world really was on the edge of something catastrophic, and soon, even he might have to make a choice. To be continued. Killer B receives a mysterious warning, hinting at larger forces at play. What will happen next as the storm approaches? Let me know if you'd like to continue. Subscribe to Sakura Audiobooks. Give us a thumbs up and leave a comment if you enjoy our work. Your support means a lot to us.